If you've been crypto curious for any length of time, you've probably heard the phrase Bitcoin Spot ETF. In this video, we're going to explore what an ETF is, what are the types of available Bitcoin ETFs, what are the pros and cons to Bitcoin ETFs, and we're going to do a deep dive into the 6 Canadian spot Bitcoin ETFs that are also available to Americans. Hello, I'm Michael, the Acadian Bitcoiner, and welcome to my beginner series for Zoomers and seniors in the crypto space. None of what you're going to see in this video is financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you need financial advice, please consult a licensed financial advisor in your jurisdiction. So the first thing we need to define is what an ETF, or exchange traded fund, is. An ETF is a financial product similar to a mutual fund that is bought and sold on a stock exchange. Investopedia defines an ETF as a type of pooled investment security that operates much like a mutual fund. Some ETFs track a particular index like the S&P 500, a particular sector like healthcare, a particular commodity like gold, or other assets like Bitcoin. So a Bitcoin ETF would be an ETF that tracks the price of Bitcoin. There are 2 fundamental types of Bitcoin ETFs. A Bitcoin spot ETF, which actually holds physical Bitcoin, and a Bitcoin futures ETF, which uses futures contracts or other financial products to try and track the price of Bitcoin. Many prospective Bitcoin ETF investors would prefer Bitcoin spot ETFs. However, the SEC has not yet approved any American Bitcoin spot ETFs, despite receiving many applications from some of the largest and strongest financial institutions in the United States. Canada and Australia have both approved Bitcoin spot ETFs. Canada in 2021 and Australia in 2022. As of the date of recording this video, there were 6 Bitcoin spot ETFs approved in Canada. There are both pros and cons of using ETFs for Bitcoin investing. One of the most significant pros is that a Bitcoin ETF is convenient. An investor doesn't need to deal with self-custody. The ETF issuer will have a custody arrangement with a firm like Coinbase or Fidelity Investments and will store the crypto coins in a secure, audited cold storage. The second pro is that ETFs allow investors to invest in Bitcoin within registered retirement accounts like RSPs in Canada. I have personally used BTC ETFs to invest in my RSP accounts. One of the most significant cons of using ETFs for Bitcoin investing is that you need to trust a centralized party with your Bitcoin. You don't get to self-custody your own Bitcoin with an ETF. A second con of using ETFs is that you can only trade ETFs during the business hours of the exchange where that ETF is traded, as opposed to 24/7, which is the normal hours for trading Bitcoin. A third con is that there is a small ongoing fee charged by the ETF issuer that has to be paid. And the final con is that there can be a small difference between the Bitcoin price, the actual Bitcoin spot price, and the Bitcoin price that's reflected in the net asset value of that ETF. So the 6 Canadian spot Bitcoin ETFs from largest to smallest by assets under management are 3IQ Coinshares Bitcoin ETF, Purpose Bitcoin ETF, CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, Evolve Bitcoin ETF, Fidelity Advantage Bitcoin ETF, and NinePoint Bitcoin ETF. One interesting feature of all 6 Canadian spot Bitcoin ETFs is that each of them has at least one version priced in US dollars. That allows American investors with a brokerage account that allows them to trade on the TSX or Toronto Stock Exchange to purchase Bitcoin spot ETFs. So the first of the 6 Canadian Bitcoin spot ETFs we're looking at is 3 IQ Coinshares Bitcoin ETF. It is the largest of the 6 by assets under management with 1.63 billion assets under management. It trades under the ticker BTCQ.TO and has a US dollar ticker of BTCQ.U.TO. It has a management fee of 1% and a management expense fee of 1.25%. Its inception date was the 31st of March 2021. So the next series of Canadian spot Bitcoin ETFs we're going to look at are from Purpose. Purpose Bitcoin ETF is available under 4 different tickers. The Canadian dollar ticker is BTCC-B.TO. They have a hedged version, BTCC.TO, a US dollar version under the ticker BTCC.U.TO, and they have a carbon offset version under the ticker BTCC.J.TO. Purpose also has a Bitcoin yield ETF, which I'm not covering in this video, and that ETF offers a covered call strategy to create yield. Purpose has a total of 538 million assets under management, an expense fee of 1.0%, and a management expense fee of 1.49%. And their inception date was the 11th of February 2021. The next Bitcoin spot ETF we're going to look at is from Galaxy Bitcoin ETF. I have previously invested in this ETF, although I'm no longer holding this particular ETF. It trades under a Canadian ticker BTCX-B.TO, a US dollar ticker of BTCX.U.TO. They have 224 million assets under management, a management fee of 0.4%, and a management expense fee of 0.85%. The inception date of the Galaxy Bitcoin ETF was the 5th of March 2021. The fourth ETF we're going to look at is the Evolve Bitcoin ETF. It trades under the ticker EBIT.TO. It has a US dollar ticker EBIT.U.TO. There are 61.7 million assets under management. They have an expense fee of 0.75% and a management expense fee of 1.82%. The inception date of this fund was the 17th of February 2021. So the 5th Canadian spot Bitcoin ETF that we're going to look at is from Fidelity, the Fidelity Advantage Bitcoin ETF. It is the newest of the 6 Canadian Bitcoin spot ETFs with an inception date of the 30th of November 2021. It trades under the ticker FBTC.TO, and it has a US dollar ticker of FBTC.U.TO. There are 30.88 million assets under management, and it has a management fee of 0.4% and a management expense fee of 0.96%. I will point out that I am currently invested in this particular ETF. The 6th and final of the Canadian spot Bitcoin ETFs we're going to look at is from NinePoint. The NinePoint Bitcoin ETF trades under the ticker BITC.TO, a US dollar ticker of BITC.U.TO, has assets under management of 22.8 million, management fee of 0.7%, a management expense fee of 1.45%, and its inception date was the 27th of January 2021. Well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your time. Please do me a huge favor. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please turn on notifications so you can be made aware when I release future videos. I thank you for your time. This is Michael, the Acadian Bitcoiner.